I'm a huge multitasker. I read through the mail while cooking dinner and talking to my family. I'm sure you're the same way. We all are to a certain degree. It's the nature of our fast-paced, multi-dimensional world. On Agile teams, we realize that multitasking is really inefficient. You should do one thing at a time until it's done, then move on to the next thing. But there's a big caveat to this on Agile teams. The idea is that each team member should be able to play more than one role, but not at the same time. Let's work through this in a little more detail. For an ATM project, we need a business analyst who helps the PO quantify what our stakeholders need. Then we have a UI designer who figures out the most efficient and user-friendly screen design for our ATM. We need someone to write the code that meets the business needs and the UI design specs, and, finally, another person needs to perform all the system testing. Can you have one person that's an expert in each of these functions? Yes, of course you can. That's how traditional project management has always worked. But do you remember the problems we run into with that structure? Yes, we always ran into bottlenecks. By the time the coder was building the product, the business analyst and UI designer were out of things to do, and the poor system tester usually twiddled his thumbs until the last minute when all the final code was dumped on him. The rest of the team had to wait on pins and needles to see if he'd get done. Agile is combating this inefficiency by saying, hey, we all have our specialties, but that doesn't mean we can't help each other out. The term generalizing specialist is what we use for this. Sometimes it's referred to as a T-shaped resource. Generalizing specialist means that you have a specialty, say UI design, but you have additional skills you can apply to help out in other areas when needed. Maybe business analyst or testing skills. As a result, we need to organize our teams around specialties while setting the expectation that team members generalize as well. I've seen coders and business analysts learn UI design or system testing and vice versa. There's no wrong way for people to select and learn a secondary or generalist skill level. What's important is that you, as a leader, set the expectation early on that everyone will need to have more than one skill. Once everyone has more than one skill to apply, the team can all focus on the bottleneck to move the work through faster. This is known as swarming, which is when the team members' secondary skills are put to use to help accomplish the sprint goal. The value this provides to the team is incredible. When you're late in the sprint and focused on testing and refactoring, it's amazing to see everyone come together to cross the finish line. Not only does your product benefit, so do team cohesion and morale. You see, like a football team, when everyone faces the last-minute crisis and huddles together to make that last dash to victory, it builds team confidence and trust. These are the early hallmarks of self-organization that can blossom into high performance for your Agile team.